Welcome, race fans, back to SVR on our top tier single seater series S1. This is the VR Sim Racing World Championship. My name is Webbo, and very happy to be here with you all, especially those of you who have taken some time out of your day to join us live. Do make yourselves heard and known in the live chat. We had a great time with the rookies earlier on, trying to wish Hervas a happy birthday. One word at a time. It didn't quite work, but we had a fair old go. This is how the championship looks then after the first two rounds of the championship. Of course, Vader winning both races with 36 maximum points ahead of V8 Eater, who scored second in both races. Beregoz scoring third in both races. It won't be that predictable today. I feel fairly certain it's the Tokyo city centre expressway south counterclockwise, quite the mouthful situation. Then we have Run DMC in P4 ahead of Christo in 5th, Soulshock in 6th, Matt Debater in 7th place, Kyra Krasenberg 8th with teammate Anonyma in Rosa Racing in 9th, Pumpkin in 10th, Jose Luis Cervantes in 11th and Holt in 12th. In terms of our teams championship, Mega Racing are on 56 ahead of PSV, Igala, Brokaga, Rosa, Hector and Cyan Racing. So very good to have everybody with us. We have a slight change to what I was expecting to see today, and what I was expecting to see today was the sprint race first in reverse championship order. What we are seeing instead is the qualifying session ahead of our feature race situation. So this is the daytime of Tokyo south counterclockwise setup. I'm going to head over to Matt Debater, session host today, for his view. We don't have, I'm just going to refresh Hector actually for you guys as well. Race not found. Brilliant. Okay, what a great start. Let's try and get Hector. I think Hector might have been restarted without me realizing. Yes, I think it has. So I'm going to have to go ahead and do that now. I seem to see here earlier that we actually don't have a track map for Hector today. So let's see if we can't get that going. That's a bit more like it. That's what we want to see, folks. Great. So, Lord Top Hat cheering on Pumpkin. Top Hat tuning in out of Australia. Early Monday morning for him and for Monkey Games as well. Monkey Games not in Australia. He'll kill me if I say that. They don't tend to like that in Kiwi land. But he's on his lap 2, straight into the pits actually for Matt Debater, oddly enough. But this is on board with Skycloud then, closing out the lap there and going P1, 135.124. Of course, Vader went straight into pole on a 34.3. Beregoz in the middle of the two drivers that we're with at the moment. Smokii's in 4th position. I think that means I've got my my names incorrect. No, Smokiii is the person in the Frenchman in P4 as he comes through. Then we've got Larry watching as well. Stephen Sailentnet, good to see you. Pumpkin King in 5th, Jose Luis Cervantes in 6th, Mappy in 7th, and Christo in 8th. Anonyma though for Rosa Racing, the Polish driver, goes into P3, just 33 thousandths of a second ahead of teammate Skycloud or Kyra Krasenberg, as we know her, of course. Soulshock slotting into P8. I don't know where all our drivers are. We've only got 12 with us right now, sadly. Not what we were hoping for today. Let's ride on board with Vader, shall we? Who goes into this very weird, complicated subterranean pit lane at the very north edge of the circuit. As he heads out of the, and it's completely disjointed from where the start-finish line is, which is on the on that east side straightaway that we're actually coming up towards. This is Vader then, a 34.358, possibly just rubbing the wall on the way through there. And again, Robin's racing. Beregoz does tend to take a very big dislike to drivers treating him poorly. Here we go then, starting the next lap. We have a very, very short outlapette here at this configuration. It's very, very unusual. And then we've got some good elevation change, of course, with these road system ups and downs, these on and off ramps essentially on the expressway, before heading into what I expect to be a very big danger moment. Into the dockyards then at the southwest of the circuit here. Vader's saying he might be lagging a little bit, so it might not be hitting the wall, but at least it's definitely affecting his pace, right? Vader across the painted right-hander surface there, then onto another long straightaway, following in the spark lines of the Agala Motorsports car directly in front. Lucas's reserve is Smokiii, is it? Okay, thank you, appreciate that. I'm not sure. I'm now feeling really nervous about identifying people by their country flags after being corrected by a Corsican in the intervening midweek this week. Beregoz in the Brokaga black and green fits a new set of tyres, comes out behind one of the Rosa Racing Car entries here as Vader's gone into the pit lane for another new set of tyres as well. Beregoz in two minds there momentarily to see whether he was wanting to fit the next set of tyres. I'm going to give you a bit of a Matt Debater situation, and in the POV you can see his tyre change coming as we finish out the outlap. Those yellow chevrons were where any penalties will be paid mid-race. Beregoz looking for half a second then over the course of this long Tokyo Expressway circuit. And while the rookies in the Adrian Newey division last season took part in a race here, it wasn't this configuration with its long straightaways and very, very big stops. So that is what the drivers are having to contend with here. It's a complete mixture of setup requirements here. You want top speed, you want stopping power, you need a little bit of downforce to get you around that Dockyards 360 section. It's mashing the overtake, of course, on this hot lap for Beregoz, and that's faster, but he needs a bit more than that at this stage of the lap. Needs the slipstream from the Rosa Racing Car in front. V8 Ita or Hakam, as he's known. I don't think he's connected to Hector, but he has put in a second fastest time on my screens anyway, unless this is just the view on track. We will wait and see. On the Hector setup, I think we may have a problem. I'm reading Vader as fastest against V8 Ita and Beregoz. Oh, big slide there from Beregoz for a moment. I'm just going to change this back to nicknames because it's not right. V8 then in P2. Beregoz goes second. And he's so close to Vader. He's outrageously close to Vader. Under half a tenth of a second. Can Vader extend that lead? No, he cannot. There is a possibility right now that someone could pit Vader for pole position because he could not better his time on the second of the flying hot lap. Matt Debater screams into P6. I think, again, sadly, we are not getting a great deal of benefit from Hector. I will stick with it for now, and the track map has come through as well, which it hadn't done earlier on. So I'm going to try and change that. You can see it absolutely tiny in the upper right of the screen because I made it small because we didn't have anything coming through, but that was possibly a Duff live race connection that I had. Run DMC goes fastest of all. P1 on a 1:34.332. At the moment though, Vader is positive to that time. He is purple through sector 1 as we head on the long run towards that very tight hairpin right coming up underneath the overpass where the pit lane entry yellow lines are, and Vader goes into the pits. He wasn't happy that he was going to get what he wanted out of that lap, That is a surprise to me because it seemed to show him as purple. Run DMC is the fastest driver right now, a 34.332. Place Vader's 34.358. And Anonyma heads in towards the pit lane as well. V8 has a huge tank slapper mid-dockyards section of the racetrack and then looks for a turning point on this painted red corner. Going as well as possible here at this point for V8 as he looks for that update. It's not good enough though to get him lifting in those positions on the grid. He's still using the overtake. He's spent all of his overtake as he passes his teammate there. And Smokiii comes through the dockyards now. Smokiii has only a 1/10 of a second buffer to P8 Matt Debater, the car behind, as we wait to see whether Run DMC and Vader can challenge each other to take home the pole position today, and possibly Beregoz as well, who's within a 1/10 of a second of the fastest time, and his great rival, arch rival, Vader, that we ride on board with right now. Let's see what Vader can do as he comes out of that red corner and heads towards the timing beam. And it's purple. It's purple by half a second through one sector for Vader. He is going like the clappers. Our double winner and reigning champion at the moment as we run through back up onto the high level in towards the hairpin we go. Vader is positive at the moment. And he was purple by half a second. V8's gone fast. It's a 34.285. Absolutely astounding pace the drivers are setting at the moment. V8 there are going faster, and Vader's lost time in this sector, but he's got enough in hand. If he can hold on to this run, he'll feel the tyres starting to go. They're screaming. He touches the barrier for a moment. This is the all-important exit now as we stretch to the line, try and get that slipstream of the car in front. Vader goes pole again by a 1/10 of a second from V8 Run DMC. And is it going to be Beregoz? As Beregoz comes through, can he get himself at least onto the front row? It's only 2/10 of a second separating him and Vader out there, stretching to the line. That didn't look like the most perfect exit of the lap from Beregoz. Oh, it's no good. It's no good from Beregoz. It's going to be Vader, V8, Run DMC, and Kyra Krasenberg there in P5 ahead of teammate Anonyma at the end. Reassure me, folks, that the live chat is working for me as well, because I've not seen anything for a couple minutes there. Jose in 7th with Smokiii in 8th. Then comes Matt Debater in 9th place. Christo in 10th. And I'll wrap this up and show you the results there. It's Vader, a 34.186, but the margins were ridiculously tight. Just 3/4 of a second separate the top 8 drivers. Run DMC in 3rd, Beregoz in 4th with Kyra in 5th, Anonymous 6th, Jose in 7th, Smokiii in 8th, followed by Matt Debater. And then we get to 10th position until we find a driver outside of 1 second of pole. And it was so close between Christo and Pumpkin King, 3,000ths between them in 10th and 11th, Mappy in 12th, Soulshock and Lucas 13th and 14th. Lord Topper, I think, was asking, is Lucas reserve? I think so. I think so. That was insane, that qualifying session. And we will just reset the lobby now. Practice race, 8 laps, and that will be our sprint race. So we are going to qualify, then go on to the sprint, then go on to the feature, I believe. So I was kind of hoping we would have the sprint after the feature, but that's more for my sake than anybody else's. But I think, I'll have a look at our event settings as well. Will we be starting in the evening? Time of the day, midnight. Crazy stuff. Now we've got street lights, so I don't think I need to turn up the temporary exposure. I'm gonna turn it up very slightly, but just by say half. Yeah, I'm going to turn it up by half an EV, because I think it might get very, very dark indeed. But it's going to be midnight for the sprint. 3.5 nitro. yeah, just a little bit of communication going on there for our drivers. I'll just get rid of our overlay there for a second for you. Who am I watching? Was it? It was Matt, wasn't it? That I was watching before. So we're just putting this into a reverse grid situation for everybody, and I will of course watch Vader for that reverse grid, which is what I imagine you all want to see. I need to just change that overlay as well, so we get a bigger track map. Let's try this. Okay. Now that multiplier was perfect for Suzuka, would you believe? Let's try. That's too small. Okay, we'll go somewhere in the middle of those two extremes, shall we? I just have to kind of move things around a little bit and try them out and see what happens. So I'll keep going until I get something that I think is reasonable. No, that's too big. It's too big. That's too big. Let's go back a couple steps there. That's funny. I shouldn't really be doing it with it showing live on screen. But I thought I thought essentially that we didn't have a track map today when I started it up, and that was just the situation that we had. Anyway, you don't need to know or be bothered by all of that. So let's give ourselves a little refresh on Hector as well, shall we? Just for good health purposes for our stream, and we will try and get you everything showing. I will pick, I think, Vader as a car to watch, the POV, because that will give us a really nice view of the battle from the rear of the grid. We typically do watch from the front. Say, do shout up on the live stream. Say hello. Just type one letter and hit enter for me. But always good to have everybody with us live, and looking forward to the two races we have for you. This will be the 8-lap sprint coming up. And what I might do is try and give you the Race Engineer app link there in the live chat. So I'm going to put that in the live chat now. And that is your Race Engineer. I'm going to pin that. So you can go ahead and watch what's going on that message I've just pasted as SVR Racing. And that is our engineer link, so you can follow the race and let me know of any accidents or incidents or important information that you're seeing that I haven't necessarily been able to comment on just yet. So we're closing in on that sprint race, hopefully someday now. Weather radar. I believe it can't rain at this configuration, but it weirdly can rain at the nugget configuration. So go figure. I can't really make a lot of sense out of that one. Yeah, time is ticking by. So hopefully Matt's just saying check grid, and that is reverse championship order. Reverse championship order for the grid today. So drivers are getting ready. And we have a 2-minute rest break. 2-minute rest break. So I will be back with comms in those 2 minutes. Okay, we have our starting orders, folks. So yeah, I hope you're ready for the race, and we will be able to enjoy this one. Let's just get everything reorganized again, such as the weights. Jose will start at the front, and Pumpkin King sharing the front row with him. You can watch Vader's stream from the back. Matt and Anonymous sharing row 2. It's dropped the clutch, and it's go, 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 and there's plenty of movement right at the back of the grid already. Most drivers starting this 8-lap sprint on the soft tyres, if not everybody. That is just quite the sight. I can't wait to see the post-race pictures, because, wow, as we got that view of the sparks and everybody spreading out around the back of the grid, that was absolutely insane. I can see Vader's already up to P9, would you believe? Pumpkin King ahead of Jose in the streets of Tokyo, but Jose getting that inside line through the triple right-hander and then left-hander of the Docklands area, or the dockyard, I should say. Jose ahead of Pumpkin King, but it's going to be a slipstream battle, this one. Through the red corner we go, and we'll see the closest to the wall challenge will be 0 and negative centimeters today. I feel fairly certain we have Cyan Racing bookending our grid at the moment. First and last, Jose and Lucas. Anonymous got by Christo, and Pumpkin King's had a problem from the start here of the race. This is Pumpkin King maybe just not using the overtake possibly on this straightaway as the Agala comes by. I can't see anything particularly wrong with that one for him, unless it occurred earlier. Oh, he did get damage, unfortunately. Pumpkin King to the back of the grid on this very, very quick sprint race. We've got Anonymous looking very, very quick on the soft tyres. We've got Vader up to 8th place already, almost past half the grid here, our reigning champion, as the train passengers go by. You can see Kyra Krasenberg fighting with Matt Debater. They have quite the rivalry going, a very pleasant rivalry and amicable, but these two drivers very equally managed, and they're equally paced, I should say, as Matt hits the barrier on the way through. That allows Kyra, possibly with a little burst of overtake, which the drivers will be able to absolutely spam during this sprint race. Vader in 6th in the midpoint of lap 2, and in towards the dockyard we go. Vader trying to find a way through as drivers going left and right in front of him. That was Matt, I think, who got a little bit posted on the way through here. Let's have a look from Matt's point of view. As we look back, that's Vader directly behind us, and I think it was Matt that got it wrong. It was just a little bit over speed, ended up understeering onto the outside, then turning directly in to Beregoz, who's trying to follow Vader through, and he needs these championship points, needs to start finishing ahead of Vader now with the double win so far. The question is Vader beatable in these conditions? Look at this close running and this fabulous street circuit we've got here at Tokyo Expressway. Smokiii in P8 following his team lead. A couple more drivers in the pits. That's Matt and Run DMC. We've got Pumpkin King, who is at the back because of making a pit stop. So I think is Mappy as well. At the front of the grid, it's Jose Luis Cervantes with Anonymous in P2, and Kyra Krasenberg making a Rosa Racing P2 and 3 with Vader on lap 3. From the back of the grid in P4 now, and chasing down Kyra Krasenberg here. Vader will have, well, I was going to say will have used loads of boost. He hasn't even used his boost very much. Vader's in absolutely top fighting form here, as you would expect, and you've been following his progress picture in picture throughout this one. The KK of Kyra Krasenberg on the helmet design there at the front of the helmet, I just noticed, with a Logitech. She's a fellow Logitech stan, is Kyra. So us Logis have got to stick together. The number 1 on the car, therefore, our Spaniard, Dark Lord of the Sith, Lord Vader. And he is imperious as ever. Soulshock with a great start as well. He's in P5 and going faster than anybody else so far on this 3rd lap. V8 is in 6th place. Lucas in 7th. Beregoz, great progress, but it's just unfortunate that he has to be compared to Vader all the time. Beregoz, our Flying Finn, in P8, starting very near the back in the penultimate row of the grid, of course, being 2nd in the championship. Smokiii has a penalty, the Bro Karga, and then it's absolutely anybody's guess as they come through here. You just can't imagine what it must be like. Well, I guess we can imagine what it must be like following the drivers in front with all these sparks. And we'll actually stick with the driver in a minute, but you would have seen it on Vader's car, who, by the way, is now in, I'm reading P2, but I think that's just a problem there for our qualifying. I think Hector has stuck himself on qualifying, sadly. Let's refresh that now, because Vader is still 4th. It was just showing him temporarily there as in 5th place. Let's try and turn Hector back on. Have you got Hector? You have got Hector. Oh, Hector's stuck in qualifying mode. Unfortunately, we're going to have to do without him, because that is not helping at all. It's Jose Luis Cervantes ahead of Anonyma in P2, following in the spark trails of the Mexican. Kyra Krassenberg in P3, our Dutch ace, here in 3rd position. Vader from Spain in 4th, racing for Team Mega. Soulshock for the golden and black PSV racing team. Let's try and get a Soulshock view of these sparks as we come through these great corners. It is almost difficult to see your turn-in points here for the racing, with the amount of sparks flying from our racing drivers in front. Soulshock keeping Vader honest. I don't know if Vader's going for just like a cool-down lap on the tyres here. No, he's got damage, Vader. Vader's hit the barrier there and has damaged the front wing. That's why suddenly, and I mean no disrespect to Soulshock at all, but that's why Soulshock is suddenly reeling in Vader. So Vader making contact sufficient enough to get damage on his Team Mega front wing. Could be the curtains for his podium plans. Soulshock in 5th. We've got V8 in 6th place, Lucas in 7th, Pumpkin in 8th, and something bad has happened to Beregoz as well, who's down in 11th place now, sadly. Run DMC in 10th, Beregoz there in that 11th place, and trying to get the car home now safely. Christo in 12th, Mappy in 13th, and Smokiii we saw having problems a few moments ago and going into the pit lane. It's not been easy being green in S1 today in Tokyo, as the almost all black car doesn't look amazing in that dark section of the racetrack, does it, through the S's. Jose Luis Cervantes ahead here of Anonyma, and the 2 Rosa Racing cars now closing in here. Anonyma keeping a whole load of boost back. I would speculate that he might have forgotten that the boost is there, but I think he's keeping that boost for those last couple laps here, as he now chases down Jose Luis Cervantes, half a second separating them. Jose has spent nearly twice as much of his boost as Anonyma has. As we bring this sprint race towards a finish, there's plenty of action, lots to unpack in the aftermath here. But it is Anonyma, 4/10 of a second now, as one of the closest gaps on the grid. So right now is between the 2 leaders, which we love to see. And Kyra Krassenberg coming through, and she sets a slower than best lap time, while Anonyma goes personal best there, as I think Kyra, aware of her boost remaining, hasn't got quite as much as Anonyma. But then the long run here down towards the Docklands and stamping on the brakes. There's a lot of pressure on Jose Luis Cervantes' shoulders. He promised me a surprise on his rear wing. He's got a QR code there, but the drivers are just moving too quickly to be able to look at that QR code. I'll try and pick it up later, Jose, but right now we're all focused on whether Anonyma can claim this sprint race win. Vader still in 4th place, hasn't been able to has been able to stay ahead of Soulshock, I should say. Side by side through the tunnel we go, in towards this long section before the hairpin, and it looks like Anonyma will be slightly ahead, or at least absolutely level pegging. Try and go for the switchback maneuver here. It's quite a short hairpin run, but you'd have to assume that at some point Anonyma is going to get by. In towards the red corner we will go, and in this final third and final section of the racetrack, through the darkly unlit section of the S's, and out of the final turn And now Anonymous will have to time his run as well as possible. He's actually lost time there overall. Here is Soulshock ahead of Vader. Soulshock has managed to overtake Vader, but Vader comes back at him with use of the boost. And Soulshock spending all of his boost to get by Vader. And then unfortunately, it's the battery boost championship made relevant once again, as we've got using that boost. You can see the aftermath there with Soulshock just making the pass, and then Vader straight back on, who says a very firm no to the idea of being of losing fourth as well as everything else so far, as he would have had a good run at the win here today with the pace he's had. But obviously he's hit the barrier and damaged the front wing, or he's hit another car. But I think it was the barrier. It was a barrier run there for Vader. Back to the top three here. Jose's lost the lead, sadly, and that will be Anonymous getting through and past using the boost, I imagine, there. And he's got half a tank of boost remaining to him. It's a very unfair fight, but of course all drivers starting with the same amount of boost, so there's nothing unfair about that in that sense. Can we get a double Team Rosa Racing podium here, I wonder? That is certainly going to be on the plan there. Soulshock's tyres are letting go slightly. I think it's just stamping on the throttle out of the hairpin for Soulshock in 5th, Pumpkin King in 6th. Great recovery from Pumpkin King. And V8 in 7th place, just ahead of the rear starting Lucas Rich there in the Cyan Racing car, reserving today in P8 and following in the spark trails of V8 Eater, as he was. V8 48 is now how his name is displaying on my end. Run DMC P9. We've got Matt in P10 and Beregoz right towards the back in 11th. Christo 12th, Mappy 13th, fighting hard with Smokiii, and this is a boost battle once again. It won't feature as quite as big a part of the race in the feature race today, the boost usage, but right now it really is just about boost battery management here for our drivers. Kyra's spent everything. That will be great news for the Cyan Racing team, as Jose will hope then to hang on here to the second position and make it a 1-3 for Rosa Racing rather than a 1-2 into the hairpin, and to close out the, I want to say, third of 4 sectors of the racetrack. It's difficult for me to tell on the track map display that I've got here, but there is the sector beam for Anonymous through the S's. That's all that's left to do here in this sprint race. And left, right, and finally left to power out there, chase the bullet train down in towards Tokyo City. And Anonymous wins the sprint race here at Tokyo, with Jose in 2nd and Kyra Krasenberg finishing on the 3rd step of the podium. Lord Vader, with a tiny amount of boost remaining to him, with front wing damage, started at the very back of the grid, finishes 4th. Soulshock in 5th, Pumpkin King in 6th, and we got Lucas coming home ahead of V8 and Matt in 9th place. Run DMC still within sight. You've got Beregoz chasing hard, but he won't make a top 10. Beregoz finishing 11th place. Christo in the beautiful Egala car in 12th. Smokiii on his debut here certainly had plenty of drama to remember, and he'll hope to not have any drama like that for the feature race. Smokiii in 13th. Mappy will come home for Team Mega in 14th, but it's all about Anonymous in the sprint race there. The Polish driver, new to SVR for this season and coming home with the sprint, and he'll enjoy the medal that he receives for that, I'm sure. Congratulations to Anonymous, whoever he may be. And there you have confirmation of just a 12 and 2/3 minute race ahead of Jose, Kyra, Vader, Soulshock, Pumpkin, Lucas, V8, Matt, and Run DMC 9th and 10th. Beregoz 11th, Christo 12th, Smokiii and Mappy bringing up the rear of the race. But Smokiii did manage the fastest lap, although it doesn't actually count for anything, sadly. Hector being very, very weird, says Run DMC. I just want to check in there. with Matt. So just let me let's just type this for Matt. So we'll get an update as to race start time for our next one, and yeah, I hope you'll understand. I do probably need another voice break before we get that one. Keep an eye on the screen, and Matt will provide us with an estimate for our 38 lap feature race start time. I feel like everyone in the live audience has departed for the sprint race. Are you that disinterested in sprint races? Say hey. Currently reading a good number of live viewers on my stream, but just not very chatty today. Obviously very happy with Lord Top Hat claiming P1 in the live chat leaderboard, I guess. Okay, as you can see on screen, we have a 5-minute break, and hi to Wask. Thank you for dropping by. Yeah. So 5-minute break, folks. Back at 15 after the hour. Okay, strap in, folks. We are ready to get underway. I will make use of Hector for a couple laps here. But what's going to happen is I think we're going to have to switch Hector off because it is not showing what we want it to show. Vader versus V8, as it has been so often at the front of this grid. It's 5 red lights for round 3 of the championship. It's drop the clutch and go, go, go. Vader launching away very nicely, but so does Run DMC on the sort of somewhat cleaner side of the grid. At least the odd numbered side seems to be running forth very, very well indeed. A little bit overspeed through that first turn for Run DMC as Beregoz fights hard to get straight on terms with everybody else, and Beregoz deciding on the soft tyres unusually for him, and it's Vader versus V8. V8 down the inside as they run down towards the dockyard here, and it's Vader who claims the inside line. V8 took him very, very close there. Jose in 5th position as the drivers squabble over the left-hander. Anonyma ahead of Run DMC in 5th. In 6th and 7th positions, start Smokiii in 8th, and it's Kyra Krasenberg in P3 as they run on the long flat out section here. Kyra Krasenberg very tempted to use her boost as she gets a good slipstream next to V8. She's claimed the inside line on the way down towards the hairpin. They clash wheels on the run there through the on-ramp up to the overpass, and they head down in to that hairpin corner, and Kyra Krasenberg up into P2, and it's V8 left trying to find a way back by V8 in the 999 then was challenging for the lead. He's now 3rd position, but of course this race has such a long way to run. It's Vader ahead of Kyra, ahead of V8. Kyra almost tagging herself directly into the barrier with Jose Luis Cervantes in 5th. Run DMC gets by as well and jumps ahead then using the boost. Run DMC doesn't care about holding on to his boost. Beregoz is now fighting V8. Beregoz and V8 might be squabbling over best of the rest this race. Beregoz on those soft tyres gets ahead. V8 on the mediums. It's Run DMC and Beregoz who have started this race incredibly hot as they run in that gorgeous Igala Motorsports colour scheme on the run into the dockyard area. Run DMC and Beregoz moving forward. Kyra Krasenberg also on the soft, so is Vader. And that is the only crumb of comfort for V8 as he is the foremost medium runner then for these 35 laps. Into the red corner we go with V8 Eater, and straight back out of it again, of course. I'm going to have to cancel Hector, I believe, because unfortunately it's stuck on qualifying mode, so that will be absolutely no use to us whatsoever as we get into this second lap. My apologies, folks. We'll get there, we'll fix it. But back to standard Gran Turismo options as Anonyma fighting here and battling hard to stay in his 6th position. No luck for Anonyma, unfortunately. Let's follow Matt's run here as he was following these two drivers in the sparks. Oh, a little bit of contact there from Anonyma. And I want to say, was that Jose? I think it might have been Jose directly behind. Jose runs very wide and has to bail to the pit lane as well. Jose will not be a very happy Jose at all in that situation. So Pumpkin King trying to get a more successful run out of this one for Pumpkin King than the sprint race, of course. Mappy in P9 and Soulshock in 10th position. I'm just seeing Wask, you're saying, can we get rid of Hector? Yeah, I wanted to give you a separate POV for the start. That was the main reason for including it, and it's great for that. But yeah, unfortunately, just not happening. Christo's at the back of the grid at the moment. Jose has come out with a repaired vehicle on the fresh, soft tyres there. Yes, Wask, quali happened a business day ago. Here on the stream. Christo in 14th. We've got Vader then in P1, 2.1 seconds leading this race, trying to make it a perfect 3 then of the 3 feature races so far this season. But clearly he has been beaten when he's forced to start at the back of the grid and damages his front wing. Beregoz is in 3rd, fighting with fellow soft tyre runner Run DMC there, the Mika Hakkinen helmet, a familiar sight then for Beregoz. Run DMC has his matched winged helmet designed for his Igala Motorsports team for this season, which you love to see. As we will maybe join him on board. Look at this with the street lights and the sparks. You've just got no hope of knowing where you are on track at any given time. Just dancing on your nerves here for Run DMC. Bear in mind, the drivers are, of course, in VR at the same time as well. So the sparks do feel brighter. The stripes of light across the track do feel more severe than me displaying this to you via flat screen. So this is no mean feat at all. An absolutely torturous race condition for our great runners here at the top tier. And of course later in the week we'll see how the S2 division gets on. It's V8 in that 5th place ahead of Anonyma right now. And V8 just trying his level best to get through this medium tyre phase where the softs are perfect and wonderful and so sticky and great to use, but unfortunately it's costing him. Anonyma is on the medium tyres too. Pumpkin King kind of partly explaining, apart from his amazing skill as well, but kind of explaining why he has moved forward like this. The sparks, I think the drivers are actually trying to drive away from the sparks as we watch Anonyma just off board here fighting with V8. And V8 has had terrific pace in quali, but just doesn't seem to be able to race this car in race condition, it seems, right now. Matt in 8th, Mappy in 9th. Soulshock, we saw his POV at the start of the race. Soulshock in 10th and Smokiii in 11th. Lucas in 12th. Jose, teammate, started near the front. Unfortunately, posted into the scenery in 13th. Change of strategy for him. Hi to Woody. Christo's in 14th. And here you have Vader then leading now just by 1.5 seconds as the triple threat of Kyra, Beregoz, Run DMC go off in hunt of Vader, our Dark Lord of the Sith, on his 2 consecutive unbroken winning streak in this 2026 VR Sim Racing World Championship. Beregoz right in the middle of a tricky old battle here. Let's join him on board. You might just catch a glimpse of the Igala car behind in the extreme side mirror. If I just shape the camera to that side, but he's not worried about his mirrors right now. He's taking on Kyra Krassenberg, going to the outside. Let's get off board for this overtake opportunity. Kyra though with the command seat there, as wow, that was very late on the brakes from Beregoz. Kyra, they were playing chicken with each other as to who brakes first, and he's using the overtake button, but Kyra making that Rosa Racing car as wide as she dare. And she has every right to do so, but it is costing both of them time as they go off in pursuit of Vader, who isn't gapping the field to the extent that I thought that he would. I'll just check his car. It's okay. Kyra has damage though. I'm not sure if that was just a small contact with the barrier, but Kyra, look at her top speed struggling now, and she needs to get off these softs stat and get that damage repaired. It's going to cost her stationary time. You can see the gap opening. Now we're into that flat out section, and Vader opening the gap by 0.7 of a second. Enter the fray. Run DMC from out of nowhere and taking the position into the Docklands. Unreal top speed difference there between the two cars. I'm not quite sure how he got ahead of Beregoz, who's got identical damage. Oh, that was a late decision from the Igala car as we head then into the Docklands, and he gets himself ahead thanks to having a car without damage. But Beregoz and Kyra, identical damage on their two cars, identical severity of damage, I should say. I didn't see any major contact with each other, but just with the Barry, you only need to tag Barry, that's Barry R, very gently, and he will he will damage those wings. Here's Beregoz, here is V8 Eater challenging, well, trying to hold off the soft tyre shod Pumpkin King. Into the pits comes Beregoz. He has cut his losses essentially with the damage on the car. Watched Run DMC make the overtake and decided that was it for him. running through the streets of Tokyo. V8 flashing that gold and black livery in these beautiful streetlights, with Pumpkin King directly behind him. Anonymous still P6, with Matt in 7th, and Mappy up from near the back. Mappy in quali and at the sprint race into P8, and he may be gaining something from training with his team leader and reigning champion Vader. But he is certainly picking up some good positions at this stage. Just to have a look then, Matt and Anonyma are very, very close to one another. Matt on the softs, Anonyma now on the mediums, but with damage. Needs to use the slipstream, I would fancy, here on the back of Matt for as long as Matt will let him, rather than try and boost and overtake, a false overtake with the boost, and then lose the position again because of his reduced top speed. That damage on the car definitely affecting the top speed around these long flat out sections. Mappy looking at a fantastic performance. Fingers crossed for Mappy, he can hang on to this one and pick up possibly a driver of the day performance. There's the pit stop, fully repaired Bro Cargo of Beregoz in P9. Now, unusually for Beregoz, this is going to be an aggressive, fast sprinting strategy. Normally Beregoz likes to run the longer, patient, calm Prost strategy, but today he is absolutely all flat out to try and gain ground on the cars in front. You hardly ever see Beregoz losing traction like that, but that is the nature of the battle he's got in front of him. Is it going to be a 3-stopper potentially? He's gone soft at this stage of the race. It's lap 7 only. Soulshock was near the back, was on the back row, I believe, is now 10th, and very typical for Soulshock. He's kept himself clear of damage in the opening portion of this race as he ticks over to end lap 7. Jose in 11th, of course, had an earlier pit stop than he was hoping to see. Lucas in 12th. We've got Smokiii in 13th, and Christo at the back of our grid at the moment. The lead, though, right now, 2.7 seconds, Vader from Run DMC. And Kyra Krasenberg a further 2.9 seconds. So that's 5.6 total for Kyra Krasenberg off the lead of this race. 37.5, 37.6 the last 2 laps. Vader is running 35.9 and 35.5s by comparison on the same tyres. That's just to show you, I guess, partially, that's going to be about the damage. Obviously, Vader has a prodigious pace. Here comes V8 now that his mediums are finally better than the soft tyres of the cars in front, and a very simple overtake because Kyra Krasenberg quits out of that strategy, goes straight into the pit lane, and she and Run DMC pit at the same time. Pumpkin King now up to 3rd. Mappy in 4th position, and he started on the mediums as well. Mappy, what a drive so far for Mappy, the Mega Mappy. This is I want to make a Mega Man joke, but that probably will go over the heads of the majority of our audience. Here is Pumpkin King in P3. Not because it's too highbrow, but because I'm too old. Pumpkin King in P3. V8 in that 2nd place, 6.9 seconds from Vader's lead. Vader surely likely to pit very soon, but as usual, Vader is fast, he's clean, and he's not using any tyres either. So it's just such a depressing sight for the rest of the field as we, the neutrals among us, just marvel at his metronomic abilities here, Vader. I dare say that this is someone to watch in future for sim racing championships and titles beyond this VR Sim Racing World Championship. I think I know he's dabbled in iRacing, but remember when you saw Lord Vader in 2026. I was going to say his real name, but I haven't had clearance to do that. I have commentated over him with his real name. Pumpkin King's gone from the server, I'm afraid to say. Pumpkin King disappears from a really promising position at this stage of the race. Beregoz on his 2nd set of softs is now 14 seconds away from Vader, and faster than Vader at this stage, naturally thanks to the soft tyres being brand new. But again, unusually for for Beregoz, spending quite a lot of boost at this stage of the race. This is just the fact that Beregoz is having to change his game a little bit here. Not only because Vader's won the first 2 races, but I think also because of the circumstances in the start of this race. We are not yet at 1/3 distance. Mappy looking incredible here in P4. Yeah, I have to say, never been quite so disappointed in a live chat as I am today with you guys. Come on, give me something, please. I'm not quite sure why we're not having anything, any comments made. It's Solshock in sliding there in the medium tyres. Kyra Krasenberg fresh on soft tyres, fresh tyres on the Dutch Ace as she comes through then to try and tackle the PSV Racing driver. Solshock in front. Don't forget to check out PSV Racing on YouTube. Some great post-race highlight videos, as you'll find on VR Hot Laps as well. And that was a fairly straightforward overtake for Kyra Krasenberg then, as we follow then what's happening. I'm trying to get that cool rear wing shot. There it is. As we head then into the hairpin, Kyra Krasenberg will get the traction, the holy soft tyre traction there on the way out of the hairpin, and the gap opens incredibly quickly. Solshock though looking good, but unfortunately has a 1 second off throttle penalty there right now, and that is where we stand. So Solshock 6th, Jose in 7th, but like Beregoz, on a second set of tyres, and those soft tyres are degrading quickly here on this road surface following Solshock's, but there's Jose's softs are still a lot faster than Solshock's old mediums right now, but of course Jose already has made a pit stop, so they're in a fairly equitable position strategy wise. Matt's in 8th, Lucas in 9th, with Anonyma in 10th on new soft tyres, having just pitted. So is Run DMC in 11th in the same situation, and Smokiii 12th, Christo 13th. Fortunately, we lost the King of Pumpkins. Here is your King of the race so far. Anyway, right now it's V8 in P1. He's on the medium tyres, circulating in the 36.7s last lap out. That was fairly slow for him. Vader has pitted, and Beregoz has seen Vader pit and come out in front of him quite soon before Beregoz has to make his second stop. I'm estimating, no, it's a little way off yet. Beregoz looking after those tyres like the pro that he is, but it's these 3 in different order who have finished on the podium of both our first 2 races. Vader ahead of Beregoz, Vader, just double confirm that because I think I'm about to say something incorrect, which we don't want to see. Vader, yes, Vader V8 Beregoz has been our podium for both races this season. V8 expecting to make his first pit stop. Vader and Beregoz have made their first pit stop. Beregoz though switching on to the soft tyres. He'll gain a little bit of knowledge here because he'll be following Vader. Vader's on brand new mediums, which will be slower of course for a lap or 2 as they warm up and get into a good operating window. It's lap 12 of the 35. There are some amazing camera angles here at Tokyo Expressway. I've got to say, you love a street circuit at the best of times, but this one has to be one of the finest street circuits out there visually for these great races. Mappy's in P4, only 6.8 seconds away from the lead of the race, hasn't pitted yet, and is taking these softs deep into our race, and is putting in a fantastic performance. Kyra Krasenberg also has made passes, has kept things neat and tidy to this point. She will be a threat for the podium this season, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind. And can she string that one together today? I think she may have to rely on problems for other people if it's going to be a podium day today. It's Solshock in P6. We've got Matt in 7th at the moment there. And Lucas in 8th place for Cyan Racing. It looks like it looks like Jose, Luke's teammate, has pitted for the second time of asking. Here is Anonyma following Lucas through in his Spark Trails. And you can see the different lines drivers take. It's about focusing on the exit of this last corner here, because then it's flat out for a fair distance. Up to, what are we up to? 180, 182, 183 miles an hour for a moment there before heading into turn 1 for Lucas. Obviously be quicker for those drivers using the slipstream. Here comes Anonyma on Lucas, and that was a boost pass. So I won't raise my voice volume to too great an extent. But of course, all the drivers start with the same amount of boost. There's no difference in the cars, no difference in the boost or recovery technologies. No compression ratio issues either. Run DMC following Lucas right now, and on a hot streak right at the moment. I imagine going to be trying to aim. There we go. Another nice top speed advantage, grip advantage pass here, possibly from Run DMC. Will he be tempted? Yeah, to use a little bit of boost on his run through there, and down into the hairpin we go. Run DMC up to 9th place, 23.9 seconds away from the lead of the race. Lucas in 10th, Jose in 11th. Now, what I would imagine he'll try and make his final set of tyres soft medium for our Mexican driver. And there he is. My apologies for my notifications showing up on screen. Poor form. It's Jose in 11th, Smokiii in 12th there, and Cristo out in 13th place. V8's lead over Vader, just 0.7 of a second. Vader's lead over Beregoz, only 1.5 seconds. That's thanks, I think, in no small part right now to the difference in tyres. Vader on his new medium tyres that he's going to hope will take him to the end of the race. Flat out we go right now, and then through the long winding tunnel section in the sparks once again. Perhaps V8's car not shedding quite as many sparks as we've seen elsewhere. Overtake being used here. V8 holding firm on the inside line. We will see if we can find our switchback route through here. It's going to go all the way round the outside. Surely not from Vader. It is all the way round the outside from Vader. How does he do it on medium tyres as well? He was playing a guessing game to a certain extent as to whether he was going to find the car parked on the inside. But how about that one from Vader? You might be tempted to think he's bored, is Vader, out front. But when he gets to do passes like that one, I'm sure he's loving it. And immediately 1.2 seconds quicker than V8. He'll try and gap V8 here, break the spirit of the PSV racing driver before he gets to make his pit stop prior to the end of the race. 20 to go, plus the lap that they are on at the moment. The 999 then in the PSV racing colours. In P2, and he's got Beregoz a second and a half only behind him. Also on soft tyres, Beregoz. Kyra Krasenberg is in the same, I think, gone for the similar strategy to Beregoz. Try and use the soft tyres when she needs to race with people at the start of the race, and then use the mediums when perhaps the gaps have opened out on our racetrack. Back to this battle. As it is, it's not exactly a battle right now for the top 3, but this is our triplicate who have been a step above everybody else so far this season. Can they all hold it together? This is a very different prospect from the permanent Japanese racing tracks of Suzuka and Fuji that we started our season at in S1. We had a quick trip back to Suzuka for our rookies just now. Check that out if you haven't been able to see that already. Very entertaining, especially the last quarter of that race. Absolutely incredible. I know we've got a couple rookies watching with us as well, which is great to see. We've got Krasenberg, P4, very much on our own here. One of those kind of best of the rest situations possibly for Kyra Krasenberg, unfortunately. Matt DeBater in P5, and Solshock then in 6th place. He's not far ahead of Mappy, who's made his next pit stop first pit stop, I should say. Mappy switching onto the softs. I imagine then Mappy will have to make another pit stop before the end of the race. Soft tyres will not do 20 laps. We've got Anonyma chasing down that top 7, and Run DMC not far away. I'm wondering what's happening with Run DMC's race at the moment, because he was featuring in the podium positions. He's on his medium tyres. I think those are good to the end, so I think he's probably made his pit stops, but Run DMC is 24 seconds away from that podium battle right now, and that's gonna feel a bit tricky for him. Who's in P5? Says Woody. Woody, it's Matt Debater in P5. I don't know. That's not a team kind of glorification comment, because you're in Team Green. So I'm not quite sure what that comment was about. But anyway, Beregoz now pits for the second and final time, I imagine, off his second set of soft tyres. It's Mappy, Anonyma, and Run DMC tackle this difficult section. We're heading straight into the hairpin now, and well, Mappy deciding that it was better to get out of that fight than get too involved in it, despite the fact that he's on new tyres. He's pushing hard right now. Oh, you thought I said something else other than Matt? Okay. Did I use his full name and it sounded like Mass in his full name, perhaps? Maybe. I'm sure that was deliberate from Matt for his avatar and his handles, to make that link. Anyway, Run DMC in P8. The problem that many drivers have is that they choose their usernames when they're 12 years old. Anyway, Run DMC with Mappy, who took his time, didn't force the issue on the previous run into the hairpin. Now the next big stop on the lap, and Mappy, oh, little slide from Mappy there in the mega colours. I thought he was going to make a much neater and tidier job of that one, but put himself on the low grip inside. Didn't help. Jose is in P10, and he told me there's a new rear wing update here on the car. I think it's this QR code, but I'm not sure you'll be able to scan that. If you can scan it, please do so and tell me what it is. And if it's a rickroll, it's not my fault. Jose then through. We've got a pit stop happening at the moment, I believe, but we have still got a good battle going on. Mappy and Run DMC trying to get into one of these big slow sections. Soulshock pits. Soulshock pits and drops down to 9th. Probably even further than that, I would imagine. Mappy is really struggling to pass the medium tyre running Run DMC at this stage. Mappy will need to spend some of that boost, I think, as we'll join him on board, shall we? We'll just check in Run DMC's boost. Mappy has a lot more boost than Run DMC at this stage, but there's no indicator on the back of the car as to the state of remaining boost allowance. You can see it in your mirrors on the roll hoop, but you can't see it on the rear of the car if you're chasing somebody down. A feature not a bug there from GT7 and Super Formula, I'm sure. This is a good battle at the moment. Vader in first after the pit stop. Then we've got Kyra in second, and Beregoz after his pit stop, now down in third position, with V8 somewhere in the middle, somewhere a bit further back than that. I don't want to cut away from this battle though, enjoying this one, no end. As we're running through red corner goes Mappy behind Run DMC. But the gap opening out slightly now. Here is Kyra Krasenberg in the teammate of Anonyma's Rosa Racing colour scheme. Oh, that is very unusual from Kyra. Into the barrier. Was that a late pit stop manoeuvre? I think it was, from Kyra Krasenberg. So just a miscalculation on the way in here. She's used all of her second set of these soft tyres here. Down we go, and it, yeah, just too late on the brakes, sadly, for Kyra. She will not thank me for spotting that moment. And that will lose a little bit of time there. She'll be glad to be out in front of Jose, sad to be out behind Mappy. And now Beregoz is P2. He's on his medium tyres to the end of the race, but Vader has a 14.9 second gap. That's a pit stop in this very short, peculiar little pit lane here at Tokyo. That is a whole pit stop between Vader and Beregoz naturally. Of course, Beregoz now on his new tyres, but he's got V8 on brand new softs here, which I don't imagine can possibly make the end of the race. We will we'll keep in touch with that one. But yeah, very tricky for Beregoz here to get a good result. I think a podium's on the cards, no doubt, but I think it's P3. He can't challenge the leader right now. I think Vader at this point may be able to put softs on at the end just to have a little bit of fun. I noticed that the Hector Motorsports team haven't recoloured that SVR on the shark fin into a white SVR when I asked them to. Or put a white surround on it or something. But sadly, I'm always a critic of liveries. I love a good livery. I absolutely do. And I just want perfection all the time. Oh, Mappy. I think you could be forgiven there, Mappy, for thinking in his position that Run DMC was going into the pits. But as it is, unfortunately, that is now a 2-second off throttle penalty. It's a place lost rather than a place gained for Mappy, and Kyra Krasenberg on those new medium tyres, which are still a little bit on the chilly side, underperforming, is in a good position now, Kyra, with half her tank of boost remaining. And we click over to see 16 remaining laps of this race. Marathon broadcast session because of factors such as the sprint race and restarting, and then we've had breaks in between. So I would, if anyone's watching back involved in race control, I would love it if our live broadcast could just tighten up a little bit. We were great at the start of the season, but I don't feel like we need these long breaks between races. But I know drivers need to stretch their legs and grab a drink or the opposite. But yeah, 2 minutes, please, not 5 or 7. Anyway, Jose in 7th, Mappy in 8th, Soulshock in 9th. Of course, if you're Chase watching this, you can just fast forward through those gaps, and we'll try and edit them out post-race for you as well. Soulshock in 9th, Anonymous in 10th, and Lucas in 11th, with Christo not far away, actually. Let's ride on board the Agala Motorsports car of Christo, our German driver. Similar to a few drivers here, was saving his boost. Christo, a driver who shows a huge amount of promise. Started reserving last year in the 2025 VR Sim Racing World Championship. Tried a couple different teams, mine included. Was quick straight out of the box, put me to shame immediately driving the same car. And then went looking for a permanent seat and ended up obviously qualifying for S1 this season. So skipped the second tier of single seaters, went straight up to the top, and he's very competitive right now, yeah, earning his place, no doubt. Good to see a former teammate, albeit very shortly, very briefly, in P12. We've got Smokiii in 13th, putting in the fastest lap of the race. Smokiii right now, 0 boost remaining, just having some fun on brand new soft tyres, but he's absolutely defenseless for the remainder of the race because of that. Bannon saying no criticising Hector Motorsport livery. I just want that tiny improvement. I love it. I absolutely love it across all the cars this season. I just want that little improvement, please. We just need either some outline or a colour change on that black SVR on purple on the Shark nose, but the rest of the livery, please don't misunderstand what I mean. I love it. Vader in P1. Tell me what you guys think of your favourite liveries. I do like the update to the Mega livery this season on the S1 and 2 cars. I've got a metallic red. I noticed I don't think we've gone for many special, night race options on the liveries. It might be a metallic red that has been put on the car, or at least they've made the stickers gloss, possibly here on the Mega car for this race. But I don't know. We kind of got a half ban on special liveries for individual races last season, so difficult for me to tell. Anyway, the The Brokaga colour could have gone a bit brighter. It looks great in the light, but in the dark, it looks very hard to see those gorgeous circuit board style patterns on the Brokaga black and green livery. Beregoz in second place, just ahead of the beautiful, in all colours, PSV Racing 999 of V8 here. I noticed V8 has gone for a slightly more conventional, slightly less controversial helmet design this season. Certainly today anyway. And Matt Debater there looking like a really good shot at 4th position today, wearing through his mediums. He's got a fair few laps left to run on those mediums. How do they compare, say, to Vader's mediums? Quite similar actually to Vader's strats. So while I don't doubt that Vader can reach the end of the race, he may decide, Vader, with the gap that he's got of virtually a free pit stop, that he'll go for it. Now, I'm wondering if Kyra Krassenberg has gone for a kind of, I want to say, Alex Albon style pattern on the helmet here. I don't know why that reminds me of Alex Albon, but it kind of does. There, some great accents. I'd love to get a close-up look at everybody's views. We are working on a new graphics package, by the way, for SVR, which might see us show the driver helmet and suit design possibly a bit more on our overlays, but I don't want to say too much, but it's taking quite a lot of work, so we'll get there, I'm sure, before the end of the season. We've got a season break coming up for Easter, so that's going to help us a little bit when we continue to build the league. Don't forget, of course, to be a subscriber and a supporter, believer, financial supporter of SVR, if at all possible. You can send tips my way by my YouTube channel or get in touch with me. That's always very welcome as well. But yeah, either join Team Webo or join on YouTube on a monthly basis, or you can become a financial supporter, one-off or regular giving for SVR. And we are always looking to improve this championship, extend what we can do, widen the divisions and everything. Jose Luis Cervantes going for a move here, and Matt cuts his losses straight away. Just as I'm speculating that he might stay out and hold on to 4th, Matt goes into the pit lane and gives that strategy up, and I'm assuming it's going to be straight out onto, oh okay, a new set of mediums then for Matt. So taking this one home, 34.5 seconds from the lead of the race, was in P4. I would have hung on until you absolutely have to get off them and get onto some softs, but what do I know? I'm a commentator. So there you go. Anyway, it's Matt in 7th now. Jose Luis Cervantes in P6, just ahead of him. Solshock behind him in PSV Racing's black and gold in P8, and we have Mappy out in 9th place. He's just 1.1 seconds ahead of Christo, and we've got Smokiii picking himself up from the back of the grid, spending every bit of boost he's got. He'll be trying to use that button, but they won't do anything now. And then behind them, Anonyma, with some damage on Anonyma's car. Unfortunately, he's hit the barrier at some stage. Lucas at the back as well, reserving today, but has put on a brand new set of racing soft tyres. And let me know what you think in the live chat or in the comments, whether you prefer this Cyan Racing or the original white and cyan stripy livery that we saw, kind of almost like a tear pattern on it. And I have to say, on Lucas's car, I think that's a Haiti flag on the nose. Yeah, he's got it. He's racing out of the USA, of course, on his server presence, but that doesn't always tell the full story of somebody's nationality and heritage. So I believe Lucas originates from Haiti. But anyway, yes. Anyway, it's V8 in P3, and he is chasing down now and looking to make a pass very, very soon on Beregoz. That was from a long way back. I wouldn't go as far as to say dive bomb, but it was certainly from a long way back. Beregoz stealing very short shift with V8 there. and says, yeah, work a little bit harder maybe next time, maybe maybe earn it a bit more than claiming it. And oh, I mean, I guess we tagged the apex there, and I think possibly, I think V8 gave that back. Now I look at it again, what do you think, chat? Let me know, because that looked like V8 decided that that was never going to fly. So we'll just come and do it again. Here we go, to the outside now into the hairpin. Brake as late as you dare and cut back, or do what Vader did to V8 here and try and go the long way around. Beregoz's tyres are still pretty good as they head towards red corner. V8's on the racing line. Beregoz is on the inside, but V8, I think, pulses the boost just to get ahead slightly and into P2 now. And if it stays like this, we have 3 consecutive races with the same podium. Vader's lead is dropping as his tyres are starting to drop off, not in a dramatic way, but comparing Vader's tyres to the soft tyres even on V8's car that won't make the end of this race, they're not in as good a condition. Beregoz made 2 previous pit stops, and I think will go aggressive and fast at the start of the race and then be pushing for a slow but steady final portion of the race here. It's Beregoz in P3 as he fires out of the docks and up towards red corner over the joint there, which if you were using a haptic seat system you would feel, believe me. If you've got True Force audio effects through your steering wheel, you'll feel it as well. It's pretty cool. And I know Hervas has just picked up a True Force compatible RS50 for his birthday. I'll say a second happy birthday to Hervas. I know it wouldn't have been a very happy couple hours previously, but hopefully you can celebrate tonight. Vader, V8, Beregoz, your top 3 at this stage. Beregoz not really letting V8 get away. I don't know how much visibility Beregoz will have on the strategy of V8. V8 simply has never really been able to use Hector, so Beregoz can ask Hector what tyres he's on, and Hector, being an AI bot, will probably make a very confident guess, but it won't be necessarily true. It's sort of 50-50 chance, I suppose. We saw Jose in the pits. We've got Soulshock in the pits now as well, so that means Matt has been able to get back his 4th place. And I hope that Matt can secure this 4th place today, because he really has driven very well indeed. Losing that top 90% of his boost, he's down to the final 10% or so. Red light above the driver's helmet, indicating to drivers in front of him that he's low on boost. Same with Jose. Run DMC could still feature here at the end of the race. It's lap 27 of the 35, so we are getting towards the end of the race. 8 plus the one that they're on now in terms of laps to go. Here is Mappy in P7, and I'd love to hear around lap 30 or so, maybe lap 32, we'll decide on driver of the day. Vader has pitted off those medium tyres that were starting to drop off, but not dramatically. He's gone in. I think he might come out, well, I was going to say come out in 1st place, but that was mighty close for Vader on brand new soft tyres with their long-time rival Beregoz here. They love to tease each other in I was going to use a different term, but they do love love to annoy each other a little bit in the Discord chat. Vader around the outside, that's all boost, that's soft tyres and boost, and very, I would say, unsatisfying pass, but it is it's still, as I've said before, it's about managing the boost rather than anything else. You treat it as if it's a NOS tank essentially. Vader ahead of Beregoz, 12.8 seconds is the gap. The V8 needs to close on Beregoz here before the end of the race. Beregoz should be okay, I think, with just 7 plus or minus a little bit left, 7.5 laps left to go for Beregoz. V8 coming out of the docks area as Matt goes into and through the docks area himself on brand new medium tyres, well, fairly new medium tyres. Matt there needs a race number on his nose as well. In P4 we've got Jose in P5. Never found a decal sticker that he doesn't like, Jose. As he powers on through. Let me know, did anybody manage to pick up the QR code on Jose's rear wing there? It's Run DMC in 6th, Mappy running 7th, and I think definitely a candidate from my point of view for driver of the day. As you know, I'd never give it to the winner because I feel like they've won enough from a race. Solshock in 8th, Kyra Krassenberg in 9th place. She had some damage at the start of the race. Definitely had pace early doors here to run to the end. Kyra Krassenberg in P9, Smokiii in P10. Well, that's a surprise for me that Smokiii with 0 boost has managed to get by these drivers, Christo and Lucas. Christo fires into the pit lane. There, Lucas comes through in 12th and Anonyma at the back. Hi to Kaiji the Pixels, Jazzy Beats there. No spoilers for the earlier race, please. Jazzy and Bannon and Woody. We've got all our rookies watching right now, which is very cool. Christo then out of the pit lane. Soft tyres for a final 7-lap flourish for our German driver. The only German in S1, actually, come to think of it. It's not often you have a top tier of sim racing with just one German in it, but that is how things are. Obviously, maybe the VR uptake not so strong in Germany. They were all ahead of us, getting triples, probably. Vader leading Beregoz by 3.3 seconds as we are into the final few laps now of this fantastic round 3 of the VR Sim Racing World Championship. V8 in P3 there, and closing on Beregoz, 35.2 his last lap. Versus a 35.8, but he needs to be taking a 1.5 seconds really out of Beregoz each lap at this stage, and it's not happening for V8. So Beregoz could go and get that 1 step higher on the podium than he's managed so far in the previous 2 races of the championship, and we will see if that's how things work out. Matt then in P4. He's 3.7 seconds on medium tyres, 3.7 seconds ahead of Jose, who I imagine now, has put soft tyres on. Here we go. Our cameraman had a bit of a moment there, didn't he? Just sort of dropped the camera to the floor before being able to pick it up over the Armco barrier. Not the safest camera position. I'm not going to blame him for anything in that situation. No catch fencing at this Tokyo Expressway. So thankfully we haven't had any drivers leapfrog the barriers. But Jose there in the heavily Mexico liveried and stickered Cyan Racing Team car. Remember, calling a Team Cyan there, we do have open title sponsorship positions for our divisions. If you're a business owner or know one that would like to gain some visibility for the remaining 3 quarters of our season, 5 races a week. Don't forget, here at 5 races a week around, I should say, here at the SVR League. And there is Mappy in P7. I will do my best to keep you guys entertained right to the very end of the season. Kyra Krassenberg in 9th, our new Frenchman Smokiii in P10. And Lucas there. I have to say, Cyan Racing cars are looking very good. A brighter colour scheme in these night conditions, really standing out. Obviously, Rosa and Igala with heavy on the white on the paint there as well. Looking good. Anonyma promised so much, I think, through sprint race and qualifying. Just the race has really got away from Anonyma, unfortunately. I do recall a driver, I don't think it was Anonyma, but after round 1, a driver saying, I can never do that again. I just cannot race long term in VR. The physical, the vertigo, the sort of motion sickness, coupled with the really quite significant heat. If you're not in an air-conditioned room, it's quite significant over this amount of time. I mean, we are now into minute 50 of the race, plus the sprint, plus the qualifying for the drivers here. This is physically quite a toll with that VR system on your head, and especially over your eyes as well. Obviously, Beregoz, I mean, no different to a race car driver wearing a full enclosure helmet, of course, but they don't have the benefit of the wind blowing them in the face at 250 miles an hour. Anyway, Beregoz in P2. This a much slower lap from him than he has achieved at his best. As we go to 3 laps to go. Not even in the final 10% of fuel, Beregoz, managing that very well. So keeping a little bit of richness of fuel mix for the remainder of the race, I think. V8 trying to reel in Beregoz with 3 to go, but a 9.2 second gap. I think he's going to have to rely on a mistake from Beregoz there to correct our podium back to what we've had in the previous 2 rounds. Matt in 4th place. Jose, definitely a chance here for Jose to take the end of this race. Let's join him, shall we, on board at the moment, as we've got a few drivers in relatively close proximity toward one another. Oh, there's a mistake. That's Matt into the barrier. That's Matt into the barrier at a very late stage of our race. That could be fatigue. I don't think it's tyres. Here is Matt into the Docklands area, just begging and waiting for that car to grip in. As soon as you do get the grip, then it will snap around on you, unfortunately. That is Matt then losing a provisional 4th place, sadly, for our host and great setup guru, Matt, here. Run DMC in P6. Tell you what I would love to see from a content perspective. I would love to see Soulshock and Matt side by side, setting up a brand new car at the same time. So if we can find a car that neither of them have tuned, and that will be a challenge. So maybe one of the new content cars on the day that it gets released or something. I would love to see these two amazingly knowledgeable engineer mindset drivers just watch their process from start to finish to identify, talk their way through if they can, the setup process. Let me know if you think that would be a cool shout, and if they would be willing, or we've got race engineers in the same process. I think that would make for some really interesting content and really educational as well. Smokiii in 10th, Christo in 11th, right with Anonyma and Lucas out here. Nice pack here at the back of the grid, still fighting hard over the final positions. It's always good to see drivers at the back of the grid with something to fight over and fight for. Love to see it. Sorry, Pumpkin King, that we lost you, but thanks for stopping by the end of proceedings here. Oh, wheel banging there, Anonyma and Christo. I think Christo won't take too kindly to that, but I think Anonyma accepting his fate there and releasing the car. No, it's damage. It's damage on Anonyma's car. That is the drop in top speed, I want to say. Keep trying to battle to try and hang on here, but that was a collision with Barry R once again from him. Kai Should Pixel saying quick reactions from Jose. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Pumpkin King. A wry tear, a happy tear, followed by bawling his eyes out. Pumpkin King, I'm so sorry, but that's quite funny. Anyway, Vader in P1, 11.5 seconds ahead of Beregoz. I think Vader might almost earn himself a second free pit stop here. It wasn't quite a freebie, was it? But we're near the end of the race now. Oh, as Vader's V8 takes a sliding run through the Docklands and almost loses it exactly where Matt came unglued out there. Jose in 4th. This would be a good result for him. I'm sure be very happy with that over the distance of this this long feature race. Run DMC in 5th, Mappy in 6th, and we have the beautiful livery Rosa Racing car of Kyra Krasenberg in P7. Solshock in 8th, Matt in 9th right now, followed by Smokiii, Christo and Anonyma fighting with Lucas again. That's Lucas with damage. Anonyma and Lucas both with damage, I'm afraid to say. Let's see if I can find exactly what happened to Lucas there. It had already happened, and I hope it wasn't more wheel banging with the Rosa Racing second driver here of Anonyma. But it's possible. Anyway, Vader's final lap at the moment, and if it's anything to go by, he usually tries to get the fastest lap as well. So he's in the Docklands area at the moment, the first half of the racetrack, and slightly drifting on his way out here, bringing this car home through red corner, and then due north east. Flat out of red corner all the way to the hairpin. It is absolutely flat out here. He's actually hit the barrier a couple of times there, Vader. You can see on his front wing end plate. Let's embarrass him and show the shame there of how little paint remains on the front wing end plate. There you can just see it. I'm sorry about the camera angles. It's because the walls close in so tightly. But yeah, Vader definitely has done something wrong today, Vader. Tucking into the barrier, into the S's section at the final part of this final lap for Vader to make it what will be 3 feature races from 3. No one can stop him with the biggest bottle of champagne. It's Vader once again to win in round 3 here at Tokyo Expressway. Another fabulous performance at 13 seconds plus. He will finish ahead of his longtime rival Beregoz on a different strategy, but Beregoz home in P2, his best results so far of this 2026 season. V8 in P3, and he'll be somewhat happy with that, I would imagine. V8 though wasn't quite as smooth a running as he would have hoped. Jose, this is a great recovery from Jose, I have to say. P4 from what happened earlier on in the race. Jose in P4, great finish for the Mexican. Let me know your driver of the day. Here comes Run DMC home in 5th. My driver of the day is going to be Mappy in the Mega Livery SF23, who comes home P6. Mappy home in 6th. Kyra Krasenberg in 7th. Crossing the line now, and we got Matt home with the damage. And a new set of softs in the end in 8th. Solshock in 9th. Hard work for our big brain drivers there with the fantastic setup skills. Matt and Solshock 8th and 9th in S1. Smokiii home in 10th. That's a special performance from a special result, I should say, from a debut driver. Anonyma with some damage on the car. Looks like Christo's hit the barrier as well. Christo's run out of fuel. I'm so sorry to say. I think that's what's happened there. Anonyma home in 11th. Christo will be overtaken before the end by Lucas in 12th. Christo home with damage and no fuel. But today is all about Vader, as every day is about Vader. Once again, to drink it in, he's unbeatable. Thank you so much, everybody, for your attention. Let me know your drivers of the day as soon as possible, and we will check in with the actual provisional race result before departing from today's broadcast. It was a long one. Where are we at to right now? I can't see my counter. What have we got? 1 hour 54. we're nearing on here. And I did the rookie race earlier on as well. Anyway, pole position, clean race, victory, everything for Vader. He claimed it all, of course. That was your provisional result then. Vader, Beregoz, V8, your podium from Jose, Run DMC, Mappy, Krasenberg, and Matt. Followed by Solshock, Smokiii, Anonyma, Lucas, Christo. We'll not mention the driver who DNF'd there, because he's watching live with us, but our commiserations to him. Thank you, everybody, for your attention. Thank you for watching. We will catch you on the next race day, which will be, let me just make sure I get this correct for you. Race day next is the 12th of April, for live G1 racing around Daytona. Thursday, we should be able to get out the G2, the S2 race for you this Thursday, but live racing 12th of April here on the SVR channel. Thank you so much, everybody. Really appreciate your time, and we will catch you on the next race day.